What's up, everybody? It's Common Sense the Best coming at you with another video. What's happening, everybody? I'm still alive. I see some of y'all making comments and in the Discord and stuff saying, "What's up? What's wrong?" I'm like, nothing. What do y'all want to talk about? Antara? Antara. How the fuck can they say they've had 3 losing years or 2 losing years? And I'm like, I just don't get it. How much money do these people have to steal to stay afloat? I mean, they made over $200 million on that ape deal with Adam Aaron. So how the fuck you broke? That's what my daddy want to know. Citigroup. Look at all the shenanigans Citigroup is in. Man, they have underwrote almost every stock in Brazil, claiming that they hold them shares, which means they've counterfeited all them shares over there. That's free money. So how are they talking about they doing bad? I'm constantly seeing updates where Citigroup is fixing to lay off some more people. I'm going, how do y'all do bad? You stole $1 trillion. What's up, Courtesy? We're just hanging out, man. Some people was asking me where was I at and everything and was worried. But I mean, it takes about an hour to an hour and a half to do a video. And I mean, and talk about what? Do you not realize so there was like 7 people unsubscribed from my channel due to my takeover video where somebody's trying to take over AMC. 7 people unsubscribed, and I'm going, that's stupid motherfuckers. I'm giving it to you raw. All right. I'm telling you straight up, somebody, and if I had to guess, I would guess Antara is on the move to try to take over AMC. But it could be anybody. But somebody's trying to. Declassify the board again. No. The answer is no. You never want to declassify your board. Let me tell you how that works. Remember when Antara had all the apes, all right, and transferred it over to AMC and all that shit. But how big of a shareholder Antara was. Now, if you declassify the board and you make these other changes, like shareholders can write in by written consent to the board to hold a special meeting of the shareholders. The reason they want to do that is to vote their people into the board. Well, they can't do that with a declassified board. And that's the headache that they ran into. Antara had all them fucking shares. They were ready, I think, right then to take over AMC. But they wasn't in the position on the board because the board was still classified and in directors 1, 2, and 3. So they couldn't fucking take over AMC at the time. But I don't think they've given up. I believe that Antara is making a move on for AMC. Either Antara, if I had to guess, I would say Antara is probably the first. All right. And Amazon would be the second. Is it over, Peter? Is it over? Let me explain something to y'all. I can't get any extra money right now. If I had any extra money, it'd be going in AMC. It'd be going in AMC. So, no, this place far from over. This place just fixing to knock some asses off. Paul. Oh, that's sweet, Paul. Thursday. Let's see. 10. I don't even know what today is. Today's Tuesday, huh? Wednesday. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Well, hell, that's tomorrow. XRP. Most people, what they want to move from stock market to crypto. Oh, because all the market's manipulated. Do y'all not think them sharks swim over there in that water too? He's not going to do another reverse stock split, Joseph. And I can't stand people who refuse to use logic, all right, and argue with me and tell me that AMC didn't have to do a reverse stock split. Yes, we did. We had to do a reverse stock split if they were going to do a conversion. Now, if they wasn't going to do the conversion, you wouldn't have needed a reverse stock split. But you had a billion ape, and you need a billion AMC shares to give them apes. So you had to bring the float down and the reverse stock split. We really had a 20 for 1 because they took 10 for 1 over here and 10 for 1 over here. Because what gives me the confidence right now is look at the narrative, all right, and what Adam Aaron's been saying versus what Adam Aaron is saying right now. I mean, I got his tweets pulled up right here, trying to convince everybody that he's riding with us. And look how terrible my portfolio is. That is a pretty big hit from, let me see if I can share my screen. Share. Oh, no, not share. Share screen. He's talking about finally some good news. Yeah, bitch, from you. All that some bitch has been talking about is doom and gloom and how we were going to be bankrupt and how we had to do this dilution here and so forth. And then the very next day, oh, everything is hunky dory. And look at all lost riding with y'all. All right. But here's the thing. He still calls himself the silverback. That's bullshit. If you've never bought a share of AMC, how can anybody say that Adam Aaron is a silverback? Because he runs the company? Well, no, that don't make you an ape just because he's the CEO. Is Sean Goodman going to be an ape when he becomes CEO? Stop sharing. I don't want to look at that some bitch's post. Well, I'm sorry. I switched over. Y'all should have. It should have caught back up. There's a lag between like going over a bridge. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. What y'all about the eclipse? Did y'all get to see it? Y'all see the eclipse? We couldn't see it here. It was raining. Good old Louisiana weather. Now I got the air condition on. It's so hot. Now, Joseph wants to know, do I think we've reached the bottom? Bruh, I can't read anymore. I don't even try to read anymore what these crooked, no good motherfuckers will do. All right. I just know that when the narrative starts shifting, something's about to happen. And right now, Adam Aaron's changed his narrative to where everything's looking wonderful. And then you're starting to see who was that Dateline that put the article out that movies are back. You know, all of a sudden, Now they're going to start coming out with shit like this. Bullshit. The narrative changes. Something's up with the plan. You should always know pretty much what the plan is so that whenever there's a ship in the plan, you notice it. That's how I see a lot of it. St. Louis, did you have a totality? Because even if I could have watched it, I wouldn't have got but like 85%. That wasn't anymore. I wasn't going to walk outside anyway. Wasn't no devil's going to come up and grab me. Talking about you outside in the dark. When did he say? It's his last tweet. His last tweet said, finally some good news, and starts talking good shit. They're trying to fucking make us like him again. I could never like that motherfucker. Not knowing what I know today concerning the markets and things like that, I could never like Adam Aaron again. I can't stand. Man, do you realize how many people this man has hurt? And he sleeps good at night. Don't think he don't sleep good on that 1,000 thread sheet. He's not going to do a reverse stock split. Why do people say stupid shit? That's like my dad having a full tank of gas, and we just went to Walmart, which is a mile, and he wants to stop and get gas again. I'm like, we just filled up. Oh, yeah, but it's good to have it full, son. I'm like, that's illogical. So why are you hollering reverse stock split? It's not even a consideration. Totality in Dallas. Clouds in Philly. Y'all got the earthquake, didn't you, in Philly? So don't feel bad. You didn't get left out. You got a little shake. Don't say shit like that, Paul. No, they arrest motherfuckers for talking shit like that. I think that in order to be listed in the New York, you need to be above $5. No, I think $5 is the non-technical definition of a penny stock. It can go up to $5. It might be even 10. But when you say penny stock, you don't mean it's a penny. And I think the limit is like $5. No, you get taken off the New York Stock Exchange if it goes below $1. All right. And it has to be below $1 for a certain amount of time. And then you got to meet some requirements. If you don't pull that back up over $1, and then they do a reverse stock split, kind of like what Highcroft just did. That's when you're actually doing it to make the price of the stock move up to get above the $1. Yeah, the reverse stock split, listen, it's not even a factor, people. What about the delisted stocks? Because I'm seeing some YouTubers talking about ape being traded and it's delisted. So how can you trade a delisted stock? That has a lot to do with not understanding what it means to be delisted. All right. To be delisted means not to be what? Listed. Listed where? On the New York Stock Exchange. Well, you can still trade that stock. It's just not listed anymore on the New York Stock Exchange. And yeah, you think they not trading ape. I can't stand these super motherfuckers who just refuse to accept reality of what's going on in our markets. Having a good night. I was just bored. I'm looking over the news. I know what I'm waiting to happen. I'm waiting on Iran to attack. That's just fixing to pop off over there. And then when it pops off over there, people, let me tell y'all something. Y'all hear about it right now? Chanting death to America here on our soil. You gonna say death to America? Oh no, bitches. I can't believe I'm looking at my hair. Is that my hair? Oh, that's my curls in the back. I got curls in the back, in case y'all didn't know. But these people are here. They stopped the Senate hearing. Now, all this shit about an insurrection, how come they didn't do something to these motherfuckers? They arrested a few of them. But you're going to rush our capital hollering about free Palestine from the river to the sea and all that other crazy shit and interrupt our country's business? No. So you can imagine, if you can see that many, how many is actually here. In Louisiana, you got some states they not gonna fuck with. They got enough of them to fuck with us. Don't get me wrong. They got enough. I mean, I wrote a book about it, me and my brother. 1/20/2025. It's an audiobook, or you can go buy it on the Discord and have it downloaded. But it's about the sleeper cells that are in this country. The debt people, the debt could be wiped out in like that. Basically, with the price of gold doing what it's doing, I didn't look to see what Highcroft was doing. And I love it. People saying that what's going on with Highcroft, the real reasons just going on with Highcroft is the price of gold. Get the fuck out of here. I can't think people in this market still today believe the fundamentals about anything. If I get in a debate with somebody, I'm just going to ask them straight up, do you believe in the law of supply and demand? And if they say yes, that's the end of the discussion with me, because there's no such thing as supply and demand in the markets anymore. Not when you can send a buy order to a market maker and he's just going to put it on the shelf. You send a sell order to a market maker and he don't need it right then, he'll just set it on the shelf. There's no such thing as supply and demand anymore. I was just watching one YouTuber do his little line graphs and stuff, and y'all know me, I can take you over there to TradingView and I could show you my lines and all kind of shit like that. But what do you think draws them lines, people? The algorithm. What do you think makes them W's, people? And they're talking about right now, Bitcoin is broken out of the wedge and it's run up, but it's had a false breakout. And I'm like, y'all still believing in that shit? The algorithms control that. Hey, Lauren, Augustine, T-Boy 39, Jana, Jason, Paul, Corvette. Somebody, whoever's trying to take over AMC, you are deep in the hole. Do you realize? And I know it's conspiracy until they mention somebody's name, because they will. But you got to be pretty deep in the hole if you're willing to buy a company that's $7 billion in the hole. So you're at least that much in the hole. And that's even before you start making the offering for the shares and shit like that. Plus it's short interest. Now hold up a minute. I thought we owned 80% of this bloke. And I'll give you that, because we own We own 800% of the float. But let's say 80. All right. And we're 20% short. Yeah. Well, what about the indexes that have to have shares and the institutions that have shares? So if we got 80%, 20% short, and you got about 30%, that's 130. I was watching the Clown News Network, CNN, Clown News Network, Tony and his little gang. The fundamentals. Get the fuck out of here. Me and Froggy, I talk to Froggy every day. Me and Froggy laugh at them motherfuckers. If anybody consistently watches them like I do, they don't put out a video I don't watch just because I got to keep up with what they're talking about. But if you watch their videos consistently, I've never, and I've been watching for 3 years now, I've never heard them say they had a losing trade. Not a one. They trade as good as Ken Griffin. All right. Ken Griffin ain't had a losing trade in 4,000 days or some shit, or however many days it was that he hadn't had a missed trade. Well, over there in the Clown News Network, you got the same thing there. They always sell at the top, and they've always got in right at the bottom. Every fucking play. But you have to watch them consistently to see it. Just so happens the price of AMC falls. Oh, and then, by the way, I sold yesterday at the top. And then when it starts going back up, that's why I had a feeling it was going to do that. That's why I went ahead and bought some more yesterday while it was at $3. I've never heard these. I've never seen them bring fucking receipts either. Is taking over AMC good for us or bad for us? Well, it depends on who takes it over. Because see, there's been a lot of changes most people don't consider. All right. And it was not okay for a studio like Paramount or MGM. They could not own theaters. Well, they've changed that now to where a studio can own AMC now. So Paramount Studio, can come in and make bid on AMC. And then it's up to the shareholders. We'd have a vote on it. Kind of like most people would remember the Twitter. Elon come in, he made an offer per share and so forth. But yeah, studios can do that now. Amazon, that leaves Amazon on the table. Amazon said they was going to put $1 billion in movies this year. I ain't seen none of it. Everything they do, they go straight to the fucking streaming service. We don't get much of it in the theaters. So if Amazon was to take it over, Paramount was to take it over, that would be a business decision that I think would be good because they're going to run AMC like a fucking business because they're in it for the profits. But if it's somebody like Antara, all right, or Citadel, which would never buy AMC, but they'd have a fucking proxy come in and do it. If they were to buy it, Apollo was to make a bid, all right, and buy it and then break the company up and do this and so forth. I'm totally convinced there's something going on with the AMC distribution. All right. Where's our fucking money for the popcorn, cowboy clown? Every time you do a video on AMC's profits, y'all never talk about where's the money for the fucking popcorn. We don't just have it sitting on a fucking shelf and it's free. Tell you why. Something tells me they got this thing in a separate spreadsheet because they're considering AMC distribution and the AMC theaters two different things. Until they tell me how much we made in popcorn sales, I'm going to believe that. What's up? Who is AB? Al from Boston? No, Al from Boston don't talk to me. He's educated. People with the higher the education, they don't want to fuck with me because their education against logic doesn't hold up. It's not saying anything bad about Al from Boston. AB Investments. I hadn't heard from AB Investments. God damn, when's the last time he even put out a video? But you have to be careful of the company you keep. I hadn't seen AB in a while. Hey, life ain't no telling, man. Tater tot. So when's y'all's bet? When's Iran gonna strike at Israel? And that Israel's talking about they're gonna go hard up right now against them. And I'm like, yeah, because you don't tell me, motherfucker, what you're gonna do to me. And I'm just supposed to stand here and wait for you to punch me in the face? No. You just told me you're gonna punch me in the face. I'm gonna whoop your ass. And Israel's fixing to put it on Iran's ass. And me and some people was talking, whose side is who's on here, and nobody ever sits down and really thinks about what they believe. All right. They believe, give you some examples here. Hit the like button, please. They believe the Jews, all right, the Jews believe that they're going to do this sacrifice and then they're going to reinstate the temple and the Messiah will come. Jesus will come. That's what the Jews believe, the actual Jews in Jerusalem. They are not waiting on Jesus to come back. They are doing what they're doing because they're trying to make Jesus come. That's why people believe when they shows up, it's the Antichrist. It's not going to be Jesus. Yeah, but you probably argued with your teachers. I got a degree too, but I argued with my teachers every day. You're just not a yes man. These professors, they tell these kids shit. The kids don't check it. These teachers, man, my God, you're not a boy. That looks like I am. Oh yeah, but you can't believe what you see. Nah, you probably like me. You're a questioner. But anyway, we was talking about what do people believe. So, if you can believe that Netanyahu and the Jews are going to sacrifice this red heifer in an effort to try to bring Jesus back, or to bring him the first time, in their opinion, because they don't believe he came yet, then they're going to usher in the Antichrist with this. So who's the good guys here? And who's the bad guys? Are the Jews the good guys? Because what they're doing is going to usher in the Antichrist. Or are the Muslims the good guys because they're trying to stop the Jews from doing this? If I consider myself a woman, I'd have to be lesbian. I couldn't believe I had to turn this air conditioner on. Okay, there's two types of Jews. All right. When we say Jew, we can't just say every Jew. There's two types of Jews: religious Jews, those that believe that the Christ has came, and those that don't believe he came, that he's still got to come. The ones who think that he still has to come are doing what they're doing, trying to make it happen, and it's not going to turn out good for everybody. That's what that whole war is about right now. I'm in Denham Springs, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes away from Baton Rouge. I was telling a story today. I'm at 30 minutes. I'll tell y'all. Y'all want to hear a story? Some people say they like my Bible stories, my interpretation of the Bible, and some people don't. But I got a question for you. Since we're at the 30-minute mark, y'all do realize that when Jesus was in Jerusalem, that they were controlled by the Romans, that Rome had conquered Israel, and Israel was a slave to the Romans. Y'all do understand that, right? Let me see a yes if you understand that during the time of Jesus, Rome occupied Israel. Y'all gonna go make me get my Bible. I'm gonna start holding up my Bible and preach to y'all, because this is gonna be some good stuff you've never heard before. You've heard it said but never proven. All right. In the time of Jesus, Rome was in control. Who was king of Israel? Does anybody know who the king of Israel was during Jesus' time? I can see some of y'all's little fingers going. King Harold. Somebody give me a King Harold. This is how you use logic, all right? I don't need to mystify the Bible. The Bible will talk to me itself. Ain't nobody know that who was king during Jesus' time. They had to appeal to him, remember? And they went to King who? King Harold. I don't feel like y'all listening to me. I got 75 people in here, and can't nobody tell me who the king of Israel was during Jesus' time. Y'all kind of take the fun out of telling the story. You don't want to chat with me. Joseph says you're too drunk. I got beer in the refrigerator. King Harold. King Harold. All right. So we know that King Harold, or Harold, was king of Israel during the time of Jesus, which was during the Roman occupation of Jerusalem and Israel, right? So now here's the thing. Harold was not the king of Israel, okay? He was the appointed king by Rome. Because, see, what would have happened if Rome would have never attacked Israel? Who would have been king of Israel then? Let's just erase the history and say Rome never attacked Israel. Great. Who's Israel's king? It's not Harold. Israel had a king, but he couldn't be king because of the occupation of Rome. Y'all didn't think CSI knew all this, huh? I could talk on any level y'all want to talk on. So, if Harold's not really the king, he was appointed by, oh, you know, I promise you, you know. It tells you in the introduction, when you're reading the book and it's introducing the characters of the book, first few chapters of the book of Matthew. Something everybody skips over because nobody wants to read. And Esau begot this one, and this one begot that one, and this one begot that one. And everybody's like, skip over that. But inside of that tells you that if Rome had not occupied Israel, who would have been their king? Well, Matthew tells you in the beginning, starting at the lineage of Adam and Eve and David, and from the son of David all the way up to who? Jesus. So, if Rome had not occupied Israel, Jesus would have been their ruler. But because Rome was there and Rome had captured Israel and it was underneath Rome's control, Jesus could not step into his place as king of Israel. And people would argue with me about that. And I'm like, that doesn't matter. It tells me right here in the very beginning of the book, the genealogy of Jesus, and it stretches to David. The reason it tells us that is because it wants you to understand who would have been king at the time of Israel if Rome didn't occupy it, and it would have been Jesus. So you start seeing some things here now when you keep that in its context. When Jesus is walking down the beach and he sees two brothers fishing and he says, follow me, and they drop what they do and they leave and they follow him. And preachers will tell you, oh, and the Holy Ghost just overtook them and they just followed him blindly. No, they knew who Jesus was. Jesus was the rightful heir to the throne of Israel, but he couldn't take his place because of Rome's occupation. So that's the history of Israel right there. In the time of Jesus, Jesus would have been king. It's that simple. And you say, prove it. It tells me the lineage of David in the first chapter, the one that everybody skips over because it's boring. It's telling you this is why Peter was so gung-ho, and Peter would die for Jesus. And well, he did. But he wasn't just dying for anybody. He was standing up. That's why they were waiting on Jesus. Stand up and take your place, man. We got you back. In other words, take his place as the king. And he was telling them, my kingdom is not of this world. Y'all missing the point. But in their eyes, they're thinking, you're the line of David. You're the rightful king. If we overthrow the Romans, he's king. He told them, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Quit looking at my kingdom, which it was his kingdom. I'll give you another one that points to what I'm telling you is the truth. It says in Matthew chapter 6, everybody recognizes that as what? The blessed chapter. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessings. Everybody wants to talk about the blessings. Nobody wants to talk about this little bitty obscure part of the scripture that's right there in the beginning. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm telling you the right one. This is the one where he stands up and he tells them the prophecy of Isaiah has been fulfilled, that the Messiah is there. And it says, Jesus, as was his custom, stood up and read. And he read, I think it was Matthew 6. But the point is this: why was it Jesus' custom to do that? Who was Jesus? To where it would be his custom to do it. He was the king. He was the unrecognized king. Rome didn't recognize him as king. They put Herod in his place. It doesn't matter, Paul. We get into things like that. People are asking me now, well, I have to call Jesus by this name. Let me tell you something. If you're so hung up on something like that over an initial, oh, we have to call him Yahshua. We can't call him Jesus. Bullshit. If I'm in Mexico, they call my name a totally different way. If I'm in Germany, they say it a totally different way. So I don't think God is going to be too concerned about what you called him unless you called him something you ain't supposed to. How about he's just God? and he's got a son. Call him what you want. I don't care. Just know the days of peace are over. The days of peace are over, people. I done told y'all, see that eclipse? You see that little earthquake that they had in New York and in California and the smoke rings over there in India and all that shit? Those were wake-up calls. That was kind of like shaking you and saying, hey, wake up. Because the ones that's fixing to happen now, there's no mercy on that. There will be no more mercy. Once the shit hits the fan, mercy days are over. No, I don't know about Putin. I don't know what Putin's up to. Come on. He wants to get up here, but he don't want to get up here. I'll ignore you. I don't want to talk to you. What? What? Listen to this loud son of a bitch. He wants to be a movie star, but he's shy. White Jesus, black Jesus, Mexican Jesus, Jewish Jesus. People get caught up and you miss the big picture. Rapture, pre-tribulation rapture, post-tribulation rapture, mid-tribulation rapture. You got to believe the way I believe, or else you're all going to hell except for me. Heaven's going to be a lonely place because there ain't going to be but a couple of y'all up there. Fear no evil, that's fine, but how do you know they're right? It's not even worth discussing shit like that. The fact that I know that my name is said different in Germany than it is in America, stop. Tells me don't get caught up in stupid shit like that. Oh my God. God's only going to let just a handful of people who really knew his name into heaven. Well, if you think you know his name, then what, you need to be saying it a whole lot more. It ain't the fact. It ain't the fact. Oh, I know his name. No. How about talk to him? And I don't mean prayer. 99% of the prayer that people pray are selfish prayers where they're not listening. This is not a time to be talking. This is a time to be listening. Jesus saw the spirit of the man. That's right. He didn't see skin color. Man, I feel like Jesus sometimes Jesus said, I could tell y'all the truth, but you could not receive it right now. You got some people still can't believe that Adam Aaron's a bad guy. I've watched Messiah 2030. Y'all can't imagine when I'm not making a video, I'm on YouTube and I'm seeing what's going on over there. I'm not watching Fox News or CNN, not the Clown News Network, the real CNN. Okay. Clown News Network, something else. CNN or Fox News. What you got to do is you go on YouTube and you Google the live feed of what's going on in Syria. And they got the live feed, all right, of you start seeing some shit. You start seeing these motherfuckers slinging missiles like they rocks. They not playing. And they doing it right now. It's just our media doesn't cover it. Yes, you would, Paul. You would respond. D Money, I heard that. I heard somebody else say that. I heard the devil say that. I was just telling somebody today. The devil in a movie, I think it was Al Pacino, when they was making reference to Keanu Reeves made reference to he knew how it ended, that he's read the end of the book. And Al Pacino, as the devil said, well, consider the source. Consider who wrote the book. World War III is here. I'm wondering, how are we having all these fucking situations? You know, they shooting at us in the Red Sea. We're having to respond. All right. They're shooting at our fucking military bases. We're having to fight them off. How come none of this is before Congress so that we can declare war and stop the bullshit? How come we can just shoot missiles now at whatever country we feel like it without having to go through Congress? Amen. D Money, I agree with you. Putin biblical icons. It's what I'm writing that down. It's what people's talked about forever. But we're so smart today that you can't see the signs because we're so smart. Okay. So only 144,000 are going to be saved. That's what you're telling me. Now, you got to understand something. I've been down every road that you could possibly go down, and you don't want to go down to 144,000, because if you're saying 144,000 people can only be redeemed, now, in what time period? From what time period are you talking about? Because you've had 2,000 years. So you got to divide that into so many people a year can be saved. And that's it. That's all the people that can get on the ark. Get the hell out of here. That don't make no damn sense. The 144,000 play a very significant role, but it's not. Oh, only 144,000 will be saved. No, that's not how it is. There actually, it's not from just the book of Revelations. In Numbers, they talk about the rule of the ministers, the musicians, I think it is, and there's 144,000 of those. See, that's what I'm talking about. So from 1935, fuck it, nobody else even has a chance. So why would anybody care? 12 gates in heaven with 12 names. Who's getting in those gates? Well, got to understand something. The gates you're talking about, what are they a gate to? You say there's a 12 gates right here in front of me. Okay, I walk through one of them. Where am I going? Oh, the 12 names of the apostles. That's right. D Money's right. D Money, you a pretty smart person. Well, Peter's standing at the Peter gate. How come there's only 12 gates? There was 13 apostles. The Adam Aaron blackmail scheme. Let me tell you something, people. Things are not always as they seem. I cannot divulge any of the information that I know concerning the blackmail scheme, except to say this. There was something that happened on that day that Adam Aaron announced that he was being blackmailed. Something was happening at that time frame, and it was so bad that Adam Aaron would rather come out and say he was being blackmailed just to take the heat from that story and put it on him. That's all I can say about it. Do I know what it was? I know what it was that happened. I know what it was because they sent me pictures. But I can't talk about what it was. Something happened, though. And I believe they were using the Adam Aaron blackmail scheme to deflect from the real story of what was going on at that time. When am I going to admit he was right and saved the company? Have you ever heard me say that Adam Aaron was harming the company? Can anybody lay that at my feet and say that CSI said Adam Aaron was hurting AMC? Oh, D Money, y'all'd love to hear my Judas story. I've told y'all all kinds of stories about the Bible, and people walk away and they're like, wow, I've never heard of it like that. I could tell y'all the Judas story, the Judas story, what happened right then with Judas. People would flip out if I tell y'all the truth. I've had them rush when I was preaching. I had them rush the pulpit one time and try to take the Bible away from me. But I was bringing some drama. Because it usually disagrees with whatever religion says is usually wrong. See, you woke up the devil again, son. You should have just jumped up here. Say hey, everybody. He wants to play, but then Boomer scares him. So he's got to get out of my lap. And then he's right back. Come on, let me back up there, Daddy. Come on. Okay. Boom, if you don't go lay your ass down. No, Jesus didn't ask Judas to betray him. Jesus told him, go do what you must do. Oh, Nana says the 12 gates represents the 12 tribes of Judah. Because don't just get stuck on the 12 gates. There's 12 fountains too. Once you get inside, there's 12 fountains. So don't forget about those. I've never said Adam Aaron was doing anything to hurt AMC. I said Adam Aaron's decisions were hurting retail investors, that he could have gave a preferred offering A as a dividend, and then the rest of them preferred Bs, kept the dilution separate. There are dozens upon dozens of things Adam Aaron could have done differently, but he chose to go down roads that harmed retail investors tremendously. And I believe he was making those decisions on purpose. Do I think he was harming the company? No. But he was hurting us. A lot of people think Judas went to hell. I could show you Judas didn't go to hell. It's in the Bible. That's for another time, though. That'll shock y'all. That'll make y'all come back. I need to turn this into the CSI preaching channel. It's just bring my Bible and start at the beginning and say, okay, let me explain how this works. Matthew chapter 1. Skip it. It's just a genealogy. We know that Jesus is the son of David. But you missed the beginning of the story to establish that he is the rightful king and high priest. He was both. They knew who Jesus was. That's why whenever he was standing up and he was telling them, I'm the Messiah, I'm the king. That's why they put King of the Jews above his head. That's why they put a crown on his head. They were showing, here's your king. Ship man, I would have to agree with the first part of your statement. Adam Aaron had no choice to do what he did because we, retail, held him hostage. We would not let him issue out any more shares. If we would have done that, we wouldn't have had to go down the ape road and shit like that. Bullshit. Bullshit. Listen, if we would have agreed in 2021 to, I think it was a 25 million dilution, and he was wanting to put an extra cap of 25 million on the float. So it would have been, instead of 525 million, it would have been 550 million shares of AMC. Now, according to you, Ship Man, because we didn't let him do that is the reason he had to create Ape. Stop. Just stop and think. How long would the money have lasted from that offering that you're talking about? He wanted to sell 25 million. Apes said no. Wanted to raise the float to 550 million. Apes said no. But if Apes would have said yes, how long do you think that money would have lasted before he came back and go, okay, look, we need to do another 50 million. So we're going to raise it up to what, 600 million? No. So the premise or the logic to think that we held him hostage and he had no choice. He was going to do it anyway, people. It was already in the works behind closed doors. They were planning Project Popcorn. P. Diddy party, huh? What's up, Mike? Mike? Prometheus. Dude, they openly discussed, well, how are we going to get retail investors on board here? And they were talking, well, we'll use social media and we'll tell them this and we'll tell them that. All that shit's in the records now. But talking about it, what good does it do? I mean, I could sit here, I could have just made the video. I got a list here about the new voting shit that's coming up. All right. What does it mean? I'll tell you something I see in it. You should have 3 directors for 3 categories. That gives you 9 directors. Okay. But instead, we've got 10. So why would we have 10 directors now? Why do we have an extra director? There's not 9 people on the board anymore. There's 10. Why? Yes. The names of the apostles are written on the fountains. That ain't no problem here. Get remember. You know what the word remember means? Remember means, it's break it into remember. Well, think about your arm as a member of your body. If your arm fell off and you needed to reconnect it, it would be remembering it, right? You take something from the past and you bring it to the present. That's what remember means. They don't want a tiebreaker? No. Y'all think about this. Think about it and let's talk about it. Y'all tell me why now we've got 10 people on that board instead of 9. I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Yes, we have 9. You got 3 categories, 3 board members per category. Except this time we got 10. You got Adam Aaron. The one that Adam Aaron's in has 4. He's in the second one, I think. I can go over there and look and tell y'all. But go take a look at it. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's never the obvious, people. You never look for the obvious. What is everybody else saying? They want me to do something. I'm getting over there to the filing. Give me 1 second. April 8th, he just filed this. What is this? Hold on, y'all. I got a new filing. The following communication. Hold on. Let me move this over here so y'all can see this. This is a new filing. It's going to go black. Give it a second. See that? Filed by the registrant, AMC Entertainment Holdings. No fee required. The following communication was made available by Adam Aaron on his X account at CEO Aaron on April 5, 2024. Our draft proxy shows I was awarded. Okay, that's where he's crying. See, now he didn't post that for us. Now he's posting this to the SEC as well. Why do they feel it's important for Adam Aaron to defend himself and his shares? I'm reading this. Y'all just, that's it. They added this to the proxy. All right. Turn that off. I think we go back over here. Well, I don't know what to tell y'all. YouTube's fucking it up. It's Adam Aaron's tweets. He filed with the SEC them tweets that he was tweeting us about how if you take his shares and how much they were worth then and how much they worth now. I'm like, why would the SEC give a fuck about what you're tweeting? Something ain't right there. I got to go look into that. What y'all think? Any last words before I hang up? The Bible, before the Bible, there was other gods. Okay. After the Bible, were there other gods? How many gods are there? The Bible was written by the Israelites. Why would you believe it's the actual word of God? So what do you want me to believe? What do you want? Oh, well, there was this monk up on a mountain and he said, oh, well, then he must be right. No, he probably agrees with what you believe already. So you're like, he's right. Why? No, it's he agrees with me is what you mean to say. Because if the Bible isn't true, if the Bible was just a book that they just wrote, all right, then we're all fucked. Simple as that. But if people want to believe the Bible and they believe it's God's word and it gives them faith and it gives them hope, well, then who are you to try to take it away from them? Just my thinking. I don't care what you believe. That's between you and him. I know what I believe. All right, we've been going on after an hour now. I preach a message that has gotten me kicked out of every Christian church that I've ever preached in. The one message I've got, the church don't accept. Yeah, I went live because some people was asking, what's up? Where you at? Is everything okay? Did the eclipse get you? Lorianne. I want to stay on, but I'm also thinking, if I had a partner that I was live with, they could talk for a minute while I took a 5-minute break. I walked the dogs before I came live so I wouldn't be interrupted with that. Any questions? Anybody got any questions? Y'all know me. I could take it on any topic. If people were more active in the chat, but I mean, there's only 78 people here, then I could cover up the camera and just talk to y'all through chat. Tell you what, hold on just a second. I gotta turn this fucking air conditioner off. Fuck that. That's money. And bitch running like that. That's a good movie. And okay, I did a little research on The Vanishing on 7th Street. If I got it right, because I was probably high when I read it, I think it said it cost $10 million. That's what the budget was for the movie. And the movie only made $22,000. And I'm like, what? You could have only shown it in one theater and got $22,000. So where did they market this movie? Because if it came out right now, I'm telling you, if Vanishing on 7th Street came out right now at the AMC theaters, it would be flooded, people. It would be flooded. That movie would be $1 billion movie. It's pretty fucking good. I've watched the videos, and I was looking for the clip of the guy at AMC, but I couldn't record it. You couldn't do it. It's on YouTube, and it's funny how when the movie's on YouTube, you can't fucking just record it. It won't let you do it. But I went over to a couple of videos that was talking about the movie, and they were running it down. And I'm like, you could look at all the bloopers in a movie and you just ruin the whole fucking movie for everybody. Oh, yeah, look, you can see The Wire and all this. Nobody wants to hear that shit. They're there to enjoy a movie. This movie was pretty good. Starts off at an AMC movie theater, and the projectionist that's running it, and all the lights go out. And the only light that's on is the one on his head where he watches the projector. So when the lights come back on, and everybody's disappeared except for him. Well, you find out later that it's the darkness. If there's no light, if you're not in the light, the darkness overtakes you and it takes you away. Really good movie. But there's something there that when I was watching it, I was like, wow, that's good. Because they gave you the impression of the rapture, but then they showed you that what the rapture, what they were considering to be the rapture, was not a good thing. And it really led to the darkness. It was a good movie, I think. And I ate AMC popcorn while I was watching that son of a bitch. So I do a lot. I watch at least a movie or two a day. And I stay with AMC popcorn, so I can't go to the movie theaters. I'll sit here and watch it and eat a bag of popcorn. Adam, where's our popcorn money, motherfucker? How come we ain't got no word on how much popcorn we've sold? And somebody told me the other day, well, it's only been 9 months. I said, 9 months, motherfucker. A woman can have a baby in 9 months. You can't give me a number on how much we made in popcorn in the first 6 months of sales? Highcroft? You got the Highcroft hustle going on over there. Yeah, well, I understand what they're talking about. Paul, though. Why isn't the book of Enoch in there? What about the Dead Sea Scrolls and shit like that? I mean, the Bible itself said that Jesus did so many works that if they were to write it all down, what? The world couldn't contain all the things that he did in them 3 years. So when they say, well, the Jews wrote about, no, they took, do y'all even know how they made the Bible? The history of how it was created. And again, you have to start all the way at the beginning and give y'all, thank you, Shipman, give y'all from the beginning to the end. Because I'm the type of person, just cut the BS, tell me how it ends. I can tell you who the Antichrist is. He's here. If you look at it as a historical book, you get a whole better understanding of everything. Oh, wow. My ears just went. We got them here in Denham Springs. Every Walmart I go in. Denham Springs, O'Neill. Buy it online. There's a name to the Antichrist. It's a person. I can't say who it is. I'm not to reveal who it is yet. Sometimes it's best people have to come to the conclusions on their own, but they need the right pieces of the puzzle. They need to be focused on the right picture. No, Adam Aaron's not the Antichrist. He's been the anti-AMC shareholder. It'll become obvious who the Antichrist is very shortly, because he's already on the world stage. No. The hardest thing I had to accept about who I believe the Antichrist is I had to get past the biblical scholar going and looking into the encyclopedias of religion and shit like that to find out, and they tell you that the Antichrist has to come from this region, and then he's going to appear over here into this region and so forth. So where's he from? I believe he could be from anywhere. Just so happens how will you know? Let's talk about the signs of the Antichrist. How will you know he's the Antichrist? Because, see, the Jews believe that purifying the temple tools and the priests and everything to get ready to do the new temple, that's going to bring the Messiah. They believe the Messiah will come. Christians believe the opposite. They believe it's going to be the Antichrist. But what's the number one giveaway that he'll be the Antichrist? I give y'all some multiple choices. Make it easy on y'all. What's going to make It's obvious. And write this down. CSI End Time Prophecy. Okay, here it is. Let me see where I want to start. The Antichrist. How will you know he's the Antichrist? Because the whole world is going to go his direction. Understand that? The majority of the earth will follow the Antichrist. What does that mean? We say shit like that, but what does it mean? It means a majority of the world will follow what this man says. They will look to him and say that he knows what he's talking about. He's the fucking man. The whole world. Only a handful will not be deceived. So, the first clue of the Antichrist is his popularity. The first clue of the Antichrist is his popularity. Second clue to the Antichrist is he's going to take all this war that's going on and he's going to let everything settle down and he's going to bring peace to the Middle East. That's his role as the Antichrist. When he does that, I got something on my hat. When he does that, then he fulfills his role. Does the majority of the world follow the Pope? Does the majority of Americans, do they follow the Pope? If the Pope speaks, is that boom, just the way it's got to be? No. So it ain't the Pope. Whoever it's going to be, people, is going to be the most popular person on the planet. Everybody will agree with the way that he wants to rule. He will bring peace to the Middle East that's going on right now. Is it P. Diddy? See, now you're throwing up names. Is it this? Is it that? All you got to do is say, does this person fit this list? I feel what y'all talking about now. Benjamin Netanyahu. So I don't get in trouble with YouTube. Benjamin Netanyahu. Is he the Antichrist? No. Why not, CSI? Because he don't have the world popularity. Whoever it's going to be has to have the world's opinion. The world has to agree with him. Soros? So if Soros stood up and said, this is the way it's got to be, the whole world, a majority of the world would agree with George Soros? No. Adam Aaron? Adam Aaron's pretty influential motherfucker. Don't y'all think he ain't? But he ain't. He don't have the influence of 3/4 of the planet. Antichrist will. His popularity will be the number one giveaway. There ain't gonna be no bear market. When this motherfucker goes, it's imploding. It's gonna take years to fix what's fixing to happen. That's my mama behind me to the person that asked. I'm trying to see who's on his refrigerator. That's my mama on my refrigerator. I'll have to be right back. I love y'all. Give me a second. Shut up, loud mouth. Shut up, you loud mouth. Did he keep y'all entertained while I was gone? Peace in the Middle East, is it a good thing? Is it? Depends on what you believe, right? Has the Middle East Middle East ever had peace? Let me ask you that. Answer to that question is yes, by the way. Has the Middle East ever had peace? Answer, yes. And when the person whom I believe could possibly very well be the Antichrist, when he shows back up, he's going to reaffirm the covenant of peace in the Middle East. But the Middle East already has peace, or had peace, until they brought them red cows from Texas. Don't you know it had to be fucking America that started this shit with a cow? And that's what it's all about. Make no mistakes about it, people. It's over them red cows. Yeah. If this market, when this market goes, people, it's going to be obliterated. I was wanting to go to sleep. You didn't see my red heifer video, Augustine? That war in the Middle East, that's over them red cows. They getting close to getting ready to do the sacrifice, and the Muslims said, "No, you're not." And they invaded Israel to try to kill them cows. That's how much they believe in what they say they believe. They believe it, people. They're not Americans who say, "Oh yes, amen, I believe this." Well, put a gun to your head and see how fast you can recant what you believe. Over there, they die for what they believe. Yeah. Go watch my red heifer video. I was struggling with, should I make the video and talk about this on my channel? But I really feel is AMC fixing to go? Yes. If I had an extra $100, I'd be getting some probably January 2025 calls. It's a good video. And I tell you about the eclipse too, and what it meant and what it didn't mean. And it wasn't Jesus coming. What happened to the comet? I'm seeing videos now. The eclipse was a hoax perpetrated by the government. I said, well, they did a pretty goddamn good job if that was a hoax. AMC's fixing to go. The narrative has changed. They can't hold it down no more. And I don't understand it. They've had so many opportunities to clean as much of this shit up as they could, but they just don't. And they'd rather this whole motherfucker, because they waiting on this bailout bullshit. Too big to fail bullshit. Well, no. See, King Griffin, there's not going to be none of that bullshit when the rubber meets the road. King Griffin talking about he's broke. Oh, no, bitch. You're building $1 billion home in Florida. Now, I'm going to tell you what's going to cause King Griffin a headache with that property. It is now bigger than Mar-a-Lago. So King Griffin's property supersedes Donald Trump's property. And I'm pretty sure Donald Trump does not like to be second in anything, especially real estate. So I think King Griffin might have, that is one arrogant motherfucker, I swear to God. Thank you, Augustine. I appreciate it. Y'all type in the chat. Love you, CSI. I'm supposed to tell y'all that kind of stuff. I'm supposed to say, y'all put a 1 in the chat for this or 2 in the chat for that. Y'all do this. Hit the like button. Please do that. But I'm supposed to do all that in all my videos. Let me tell you something. I hate it when a video starts. I mean, and it starts in the first 15 seconds of the video. The motherfucker tells me, all right, before we get started, please hit the like button and subscribe. And I'm going, why am I not like your shit? I hate it when a YouTuber does that. But you're supposed to do that, according to YouTube. But I don't. I forget. I don't give a shit. Has anybody in the chat, tell the truth, has anybody in the chat went and listened to my ebooks that I wrote a good bit of it? My brother helped me with the Agent Shaw books. I wrote the AMC and the GME books. But has anybody went and listened to those? Tell the truth. Don't worry. They fucking with the right one. You let them keep fucking with that stock. That man's going to be president again. One way or the other. Those books on my YouTube channel, on my other YouTube channel, are 40 minutes long, 50 minutes long. But people, the information that I packed into those books, that if you was to just listen to those books, you'd understand exactly how this play is working. I mean, I give it to you play by play. I've had people ask me, well, how do you know they said that? That's called writers fucking. I can take that liberty. I have to put the dialogue in there to tell the story. It's called storytelling. Everybody in AMC should go watch and listen to those books. Number one, they're for sale over on my Discord. You can go over there and buy the bundle for $6, which helps me out. I appreciate that. Or you can go over to the YouTube channel and watch it for free. And it's an audio book and it scrolls along with it so you can keep up with the story. But it's free over there. I did that to try to get the hours up on my other channel. But I'm not the type of person, and I go across the board with this, and then I'll end. I'm not the type of person to tell y'all what to believe. I lay out the evidence as if you're a member of a jury, and then I let you choose what you're going to believe. Do you want to believe that, like my declassification of the board video, the last one I've done. All right. If y'all haven't watched that, you need to watch it. It's talking about somebody's trying to take over AMC. 6 people unsubscribed from that video. And I'm going, what the fuck would you unsubscribe from that for? I'm giving you some solid information here. We have to vote on these things. And there's an extra person on the board. We don't have 9 directors. We have 10. Why? Nobody ever answered that question. Why? I wouldn't want to be fucking with Trump's stock. And that motherfucker's fixing to be the president of the United States. He's going to put it on somebody's ass fucking with his stock. But it goes to show you. Now, there's a good example. So, people, if you want to hate Adam Aaron, put your fingers in your ears because you're not going to like what I'm about to say. If you want to dislike Adam Aaron for the purpose of just disliking Adam Aaron. Look at what's happening to Donald Trump's stock. So would it matter if Donald Trump was the CEO of AMC? That'd be a good video, huh? Donald Trump as CEO of AMC. Would the price still be doing this? I'm going to make that a video. Trump as CEO of AMC. Would the stock still be going down? Would they still be manipulating it? Even if it was Donald Trump? Fuck yeah. So, I mean, everybody's looking at stock price and they're hollering about Adam Aaron. He ain't got nothing to do with that stock price. That's King Griffin's doing. They're battling it out right now. Okay. They're starting to change the narrative. They're getting Adam Aaron on board. Listen, Adam, you need to get everybody back in shape here. Get them on board. Let's get this shit over with. They need their stock to run up. Did y'all just quit commenting? What the hell? You listening? Hell, I don't have nothing to talk about if y'all don't tell me what to talk about. T. Roy, I agree. If you've been in this play, as long as I've been in this play, honestly, them shares that got bought way up here, the only way that you're going to make money back on that shit, people, is the average down. And this is where I'm supposed to go. And I'm not telling you to buy, hold, or sell a stock, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just being honest. In order to bring your average down so that you don't miss the run that'll be coming up, that I believe is coming up, which is my opinion, you just have to average it down. And, you know, people get mad. People talk about how we ain't got the fuck. You ain't got to tell me about not having the money, motherfuckers. I'm as broke as shit. But if I had $100 extra, I'm watching Mikey. Mikey, y'all, is anybody watching Mikey? That motherfucker, every time he makes a video, he's telling you, I just put my whole check in AMC. Bought, I forget how many shares he bought. 300 shares. So I'm going, okay, so your check's $900. But are you living at home with your parents? Because there's no motherfucking way you're a grown-ass man who has your own responsibilities and bills to pay to where you're making a motherfucking AMC video telling people you putting your whole paycheck in there. So you tell the people the truth. Say, I'm able to put my whole check in AMC because I still live at home with mama. I can't stand that dude. But if there was anybody I'd punch in the face, it'd be that motherfucker. And boy, I bet you I'll hear about that tomorrow. But I can't stand somebody to do that. To mislead people intentionally. Now, I watched this video the other day, and it said, I put my whole life savings in. And I'm going, well, if you put your whole life savings in AMC, you're a fucking idiot. Watch the video, and that's what he's telling you. Oh, I put it all. And the next video, I put my whole check, trying to motivate people to follow his stupid ass. But he lives at home with his mama. He ain't got no motherfucking bills, or he wouldn't talk that shit. I'm a good ways away from Lafayette. When I was working, I put a certain amount in AMC every check. But to YOLO in my whole paycheck, or to convince other people that that's what I'm doing, you're a motherfucking lie. And it upsets me that people will watch that bullshit and go, oh, okay. And he says, I'm not giving you financial advice, but I put my whole check in. And people adore a bitch like that because he has a nice background. I live in a mobile home. So I'm not somebody you should listen to. Listen to the one that puts his whole check in because he lives with his mama. I did. I mean, I went all in AMC. I looked at my account and I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Then I found myself sitting outside of a loan company one time. I was going to get a loan for $1,000. I was that sure AMC was fixing to squeeze. And if I would have went through with that stupid ass move, that would have been just another bill on my fucking plate. You'll see $29. This motherfucker's going to run. It will run. They this close to getting King Griffin's ass. That's what I'm saying. Look, people ask me all the time, how many shares you got? How much you got invested? You know what? That's because you want to measure whose dick is bigger. All right. And I don't get into the dick measuring contest with people. All right. I have what I have. And what I have, I could afford most of the time. Other times I did say, fuck it. But there's other times where I said, you know what? I'm not getting that fucking 2-liter Coke this week. I can get another box of AMC popcorn. Help my company out. And that's in the lawsuit. That's what a big issue was. Well, this person only holds this many shares. Doesn't matter. If you're a shareholder and you're being fucked over, it don't matter if you have one share. It shouldn't be happening. That's coming up March, April, May 28th. T1, May 28th. And I think it was either Donahue or it was Cowboy Clown said that if you believe the stock market is going to go to T1, and I do, and we know the date, March 28th, May 28th, then why would you not buy a call a little bit into the future? So I looked into it, and I'm like, fuck, they're not but $11. So for 10 contracts, that's $110. And if I'm right, that's like having 1,000 shares. Hey, Pam, what's your new movie? Have you seen a new movie lately? Pam the Trader. Pam always going to the AMC theaters and seeing movies and giving us updates on how good the food is. 146. I don't been working. I don't. I believe everything will crash before it can get that high. I believe when this motherfucker goes, it's going to be like a cable that's unwinding and snaps loose. The whole fucking, there will be no more markets, people. We laugh and we say shit like chicken apocalypse, which was one of the reasons why me and Lou fell out. I loved Lou up until he was laughing about the chicken apocalypse. And then I got to thinking about it. And I said, Lou, do you realize what that means? How many people are going to die from starvation, from not being able to afford? I showed my brother, there's no bullshit. I got the dogs, a box of treats, all right, a loaf of bread, and milk, and that was $15. So, all right, hit the like button and we'll get out of here in 14 minutes. Fuck it, we'll call it 2 hours on the nose. Then I'll kick back and see what movie I'm going to watch. What movie was I watching? They got some pretty good movies. Yes. But it only covers so much. The immunity that they're trying to do, it protects them from the duty of care, okay, which is very important, all right? Duty of care, the fiduciary duty of care means that the decisions that you make is in the best interest of the shareholders. That's what duty of care means. It means you're taking care of the shareholders. All right. That's what duty of care means. And that's what they're getting immunity from. They're trying to stop people from being able to constantly sue. And I agree. All right. Everybody's going to sue Adam Aaron and going to get $2 million, $5 million each lawsuit. Well, that don't come out of Adam Aaron's pocket, people. That comes out of our pocket. So, but the duty of care, listen, duty of care violation is hard to overcome. All right, because you have to take into what's best for the business first. In other words, if he had a choice to appease the shareholders or let the company go bankrupt, then he's going to stop the company from going bankrupt, whether it hurts the shareholders or not, which is what they're saying happened, which he didn't have to do it the way he did it. He did it the way he did it to hurt us. I'm totally convinced of that. There's too many other ways he could have done what he was going to do. He could have done a rights offering the right way. He could have done the preferred offering the right way. All right. He could have, this time, instead of diluting 75, 80 million shares, he could have gave ape offering again. Got the money right now and diluted in 9 months. And everybody would know it's coming. There's benefits to that type of investing, by the way. People know that the conversion date is coming up, so they will start getting into the preferred stock and then it goes on. It's all kind of stuff's involved in that shit. It's not something simple, but it is simple for the CEO to just do the right thing by the shareholders. So you have to prove duty of loyalty. All right. And duty of loyalty centers around, did they do what they did for personal gain? All right. They weren't loyal to the company or its shareholders. Now that's where you're talking. That's where you can get Adam Aaron. But the blanket immunity is the blanket of immunity of the fiduciary duty of care. You can't get immunity for a violation of fiduciary of loyalty. Not that I know of. Damn, I'm pretty comfortable when I just get up and walk away, huh? I didn't even tell y'all shit. I just got up. How far in advance should I make my AMC calls? It depends on what you believe. If you believe that they're going to do T1 in May 28th, then June would be good. July. All right. If you think that AMC has been doing rough, all right, but now everything's looking good, like Adam Aaron and them saying, then fuck it, January 2025 calls. If I had the money, that's what I'd be loading up on. I just got to ride with what I got. And it ain't enough. Not after they took 90% of them motherfuckers. David, I say it like this, friend. Makes no difference when the man sold. If he sold at the price he sold, you're going to raise hell. Not you, but apes are going to raise hell. Oh, he sold at the bottom. If it would have ran up to 12, if it runs up to 12 right now and he sold, what is people going to cry? Especially your YouTubers who love to talk shit about Adam Aaron. They're going to say, oh, he stopped the run up. Oh, he was running up. When is the motherfucker supposed to sell shares and make money for the company? According to the crybabies. Eventually, it has to get done. Hey, Jane, I love you too, babe. Richard, rugby in the UK. Thank you, God. Keep it up. I'm doing the best I can. I bought in at like 42. When it ran up to 72 and it came back down, I thought that was a pullback. I was ready to go. I was going to rock this motherfucker. Boy, they rocked me, didn't they? Pam. Oh, it's a YouTube movie. Get you some AMC popcorn ready and watch Vanishing on 7th Street. It's about AMC. It's on YouTube. It's a YouTube movie. He sold as low as possible. Yes. Look at who he's selling to. I mean, people sometimes stop being just total asses, okay? And hating just to hate because you're in your feelings about the finances. I'm in mine too, but I still try to use logic, reason. There's no price that man could have sold at that would have made you happy. The dilution's over with. He shouldn't have to dilute no more. However, as part of the plan, he tells you that rather we got a good, strong balance sheet or not, he can dilute if he wants to, and he does not need shareholder approval. So when I hear people like Cowboy Clown and that little yes tard that he runs with over there talk about the financials of AMC, He's already established. The financials don't mean shit. He'll do what he fucking feels like he wants to do. David, apparently he can fucking justify it. He's got half the apes saying that it was a good thing. And you might, and I agree. If you're gonna do it, do it. All right. Quit talking about it. Quit hanging it over the head. Dilute the shit. Get it over with, and let's move on. And that's where we're at. We're at the move on. I mean, motherfuckers keep looking at shit that happened a month ago instead of looking at what's happening today. I don't understand it. I could make a white girl joke right there, Paul. From a mo ass to no ass. I'm just going to leave that there. Who in the fuck would honestly be shorting legally AMC right now? 20%? Good night, Pam. Remember, vanishing on 7th Street. Why is the short interest going up? They have new shares. They're buying the shares, loaning the shares out. AMC is going to squeeze to $9. We can look backwards to understand, but we can't center down our emotions in the present over what's happened in the past, because then you don't see what's going on in the present and future, because your emotions get involved. You got a whole bunch of shit. I mean, I hate it. I hate it when I see YouTubers, and some of them are really good friends of mine. The SEC won't do a fucking thing. Woo, woo, woo. What do you want them to do? They're going to T1. Everything that needs to be done. Yeah, that's exactly the reaction I wanted to get when I said $9. What do you mean $9? But I don't know what it's going to go to. Yeah, I got all y'all fucked up when I said $9, huh? I mean, I don't know, $90. Is that better? 90? It's not? Okay, well, 900 is, I meant to say 900. I was talking about that earlier. Fear no evil. To remember means to take that which is in the past and bring it to the present. That's what remember means. It's like putting your arm back on, you're remembering it to the body. You can remember the past. Don't mean you have to be caught up emotionally in it. You got T1 coming up. They're changing all the loaning rules. And then people are upset. And God damn, like I said, it's some of the people that I like who make videos that say the SEC is doing nothing. The SEC's got a whole bunch of shit on the table. Just don't want to talk about it because you want to talk negative. You want to be negative. It's what inspires people, negativity. So that's all you want to fucking talk about. But you got May 28th, we're going to T1. And people's response to that is, oh, yeah, but now they got to enforce it. Well, then we might as well just hang our fucking self. Because according to you, people who act like that, there's nothing that can be done. So what the fuck are you even talking about? What am I talking about? If there's nothing that can be done, why are we even here talking about this bullshit? Yeah. Because it's not right. I just can't stand it. When I'm watching a video, there's a commercial shows before the video starts. I can't stand that fucking woman. I can't stand people who lie and deceive, and they mean to. And they mean to. It's their purpose for even talking. Words leaving their mouth. The whole purpose is to lie to you and to deceive you. I can't stand them kind of people. That girl's commercial that you worked hard on your book and you're not making any sales. And the reason for that is because you didn't get your book edited professionally. Bullshit. She's lying. She knows she's fucking lying. That's not why people don't get their books sold. All right? Why? Because nobody knows whether the book's been formatted right or not until after they buy the motherfucker. So you explain to me how editing can have anything to do with the buying of the book. It doesn't. So I can't, and she knows it. But she wants to promote her product, so she lies to people. Same thing with these YouTubers. They want to try to get you in your emotions, rather love out of marrying or hate out of marrying. There's no middle ground with most of these motherfuckers. Been through a lot, learned a lot, got a fucking degree in finance practically. I didn't even know what a short squeeze was. I was investing recovery plays. And then I stumbled upon what happened to fucking AMC. Why is this bitch running up to $50? And then I watched trades. I found out what a short squeeze was. And then it was on after that. Then it was, I had to sit through a 12-hour lecture, MIT lecture, all right, on algorithms to learn how an algorithm works. That's why when they want to question me about an algorithm, motherfucker, I took MIT classes on how algorithms work. Do not try to tell me about how an algorithm works when I've sat through the MIT classes. Wait, people. We'll have this discussion again. 2 days, 3 days. We can focus. Our world is right here. And we look at AMC, like you're over here, there's 100 of y'all right now watching. You know, we're talking about AMC and shit. But you got to understand. And like I wanted to try to cover some of the shit that's going on over there in the Middle East, because most people don't understand what's going on. And most people don't understand the significance that all of that is having. And within the next 2 to 3 days, people, you don't know what's going to be happening. They're going to fire on Israel. And when they do, it ain't going to be pretty. And it's terrible, people. And they're already here in this country. That's what worries me the most. That's why, you know, I did that video about the eclipse. And I told everybody, you know, you don't focus on the fact of his Jesus coming back. What you need to be looking at is the person next to you, because that could be a dangerous motherfucker with a bomb. All right, getting collective group of people together to cause mass chaos during this eclipse. Is that possible? Yes, it was. So everybody should be vigilant. That's all that video was for, and to tell them that the peaceful shaking and waking you up is over with. From this point on, people die. the New Madrid fault. All right. They had the 1811 and 1812, the earthquake. They had the eclipse. Then they had the New Madrid earthquake. I think it happened like 3 months after. Did it have anything connected to do with the eclipse? Oh, I think so. All right. And I don't think it's when you're talking biblical and stuff, even though that's true too. But these earthquakes and these solar eclipses that are happening like right now we just had, the moon has an effect on the Earth's gravitation and so forth. So yes, could that eclipse passing over the center of America do what it done before, which is cause that New Madrid earthquake like it did in 1811? Yes, it's very possible. So should we not talk about it? Should you not be warned, hey, do you have what they call a bug out bag ready in case shit goes bad? Or do you have a plan? All right, because shit can go south real fast. Yes, I know about the CERN. CERN. AMC is not at 29 cents. Never thought you'd see today good because it's not at 29 cents. You all right? Who am I having a bad dream? Hair keeps getting in my eyes. Can you believe that? I ain't got no hair up there. And the one that's up there keeps getting in my eyes. Afraid of earthquakes. That's why I like to tell people I live in Louisiana. I like Louisiana. We get it 2 weeks notice of a hurricane. Earthquakes, boom, got you. Tornadoes, less than a minute. So I'm like, we down here in the South, we got to suffer with some badass weather, but we get 2 weeks notice. Yeah, Paul. I was looking online and they got the earthquake simulators and they start with the low and they work their way up. And they show you each time as the magnitudes increase what happens to the buildings and shit. And when it gets to the eights, oh, that's your ass if you hit an 8. But a 4.8 or a 5, that could have been devastating to New York because their buildings are not built like your buildings in California. The buildings in California are built to sway with a fucking earthquake. In New York, they're not. And it's just amazing. Nobody, 43 million people went through that earthquake. They felt the tremors of it. Not a person was hurt. That ought to tell you that that was divine, or at least I feel it was. Ramadan ended yesterday. That's right. So get ready for it. It's coming. getting you, boy, look, having your mouth worked on during the middle of an earthquake. No, it's not at 29.7 cents. It's not what I'm seeing. Come on, I'll argue with you about it. Who wants to argue with me? I hate it when motherfuckers talk about, well, the price of AMC is 29 cents post reverse stock split. No, it's not. No, it's not. They tell you that shit to get you in your feelings, and then you come and you think you're gonna chat with me about it, but I'm gonna put you straight. That's bullshit. First off, it's not 29 cents, all right, because you gotta add in when they did that swap over with the conversion, you had 7 million extra shares. Remember that? So that lowered your cost. So right there, when you say 10-to-1 reverse stock split, this is what it is. It's at $2.90. So a 10-to-1 reverse stock split would put it at $2.90. Bullshit. You had extra shares that got added into that dilution. All right, let's start with that. All right, and then you've had dilution since then. So the price of AMC right now is not in accordance to a 10-to-1 reverse stock split because there's been too much corporate actions going on that your favorite YouTubers don't want to talk about because it just sounds so much better when we could talk bad shit about AMC and say it's at 29 cents and it's not. Motherfuckers at $2.90 right now. I'm not going to get into the Cinemark debt, AMC debt, because I don't know. All right. I could just tell you again, I say it again. And this is a good example, people. Listen up. You cannot like a motherfucker. All right. I don't like Cowboy Clown. But when he's right, you have to admit Cowboy Clown's right. All right. Because if I get in my emotions and it's just motherfucker, well, then nothing he says is ever going to be right. And that's not true. And he gives you the rundown on the Cinemark and AMC, the difference between the two, why you can't compare the two. AMC's at $3 and Cinemark is at 18 something. What's your point? Have you considered what the outstanding floats of both of these stocks are? Huh? Have you considered how much their debt to what they're bringing in? All right. Have you taken into consideration that AMC has 10 times as many theaters as that company? So you can't just say Cinemark's up and AMC's down. Oh, because Adam Aaron's a piece of shit. Adam Aaron is a piece of shit. Nobody said he wasn't. But only lay at the feet the charges that are real. Motherfucker, do I wish AMC would squeeze already. But then again, I needed to wait one more month. We can't squeeze for one more month, y'all. I got to get some dry powder. I got to get some AMC. I got to try to bring that average down. Now, I've had to deal with that court shit with my family. Still waiting to hear on that. Looks like that's going to cost me another $50 there because I might have to file something else in the court. But it's what I try to tell y'all. I got right there. I was going to say right there. It used to be right there. It's on top of the printer. Those two lawsuits. Winning. I could win them motherfuckers. There's not a doubt in my mind that I'd make them bitches bow down to me. But you got to have the finances to fight them bitches with. That's what, when that motherfucker made that comment to me, do what you're big enough to do. He was talking about my wallet. Fight me as far and as long as you can. So, and some people say, well, just tell us what it'll cost. Some of y'all want to take up the bill. All right. But the thing is, when you don't understand, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars here. Donahue is spending a shitload of money. All right. Every time he's got to file something in the court, people, that's a couple $100 for him. And I seen his video where people are giving him a hard time. Let me tell you something. First off, you find another motherfucker that's gotten it this far. Not a one. Not a one. Now, the question is going to be, you're in mediation. So they're going to come with a price. Now we're going to see what's it about. What's it going to be about? Is it going to be about the money? Yeah, Pam, I'm signing off too, sweetheart. Is it going to be about the money? If they come and offering $5 million, you're going to take it? Or are you fighting all the way to the end? Who would not take a $5 million payout? Well, I wouldn't. Because I'm used to being poor. And that's why they say it's hard to bribe a poor man. Why? Because he's used to being poor. It's easy to bribe a rich man. Why? Because he don't want to be poor. He'll do whatever he got to do to hold on to his riches. Same thing here. Could we win? Without a doubt in my mind, we'd win. But you're talking, that shit that I'm looking at is probably about $10,000 to $15,000 worth of legal work out of an individual's pocket. Donahue's coming out a lot. Then when he has to subpoena all them motherfuckers to come up there and do depots and all that shit, that's going to cost him some more. Right. See, if they was to come to me with, shut the fuck up, CSI, we'll give you $2 million. CSI talk about what I want to. I can't make a deal telling you what I'm not going to talk about because there'll be no telling when the next time I open my mouth what the fuck's going to come out of it. So. I've never seen you talking about and then I'm going to go because I'm starting to get sleepy. The financial situations of these banks. I just don't understand it, people. How they could have stolen now trillions of dollars, and they're broke. They've stole trillions of dollars, and they're broke. I don't understand it. Ken Griffin with his $1 billion house. I can't wait. When I was reading that article about Ken Griffin's house, and then I got to just one sentence. It said that now Ken Griffin has the largest real estate property. It's bigger than Mar-a-Lago. And I said, ooh, Trump don't want to be second, bitch. You don't overstep the Trump. So Donald Trump will never be second, especially in real estate. So Ken Griffin just got that dog on his ass. So yeah, I think it's gonna end soon. Get a couple dollars extra. I get paid every 21st. So if I get $30, I'll buy a couple of options for January 25 because I believe it's gonna go up. That's me. If you think Adam Aaron is a piece of shit, and if you think Adam Aaron has got bad things for this company and trying to bankrupt us and shit, you should not be buying any fucking shares. If you're saying you're buying every time I see you buying it, but all you got is bad shit to say about the CEO, something ain't lining up there. I'm buying more. I hear you. So then you're going to tell me you bought more and then tell me how Adam Aaron's trying to bankrupt the company. Now, what kind of fucking sense does that make? I don't know. I have to see what the price is going to be at on the 21st when I get my check. My YouTube check. Government don't help me at all. Any money I get, I generate on YouTube. That's why they hate me. Most of them. Oh boy, if they knew what you just called them, they over there sleeping on the couch now. But if I wrinkle that bag right there, you're going to see them. Boomer's watching y'all. See? People were shocked. They're like, he sits there like a fucking human with his arm up on the fucking thing. I'm like, yeah. He watches TV. Now he's taking a nap. But he'll go to the other end and put his head on the cushion, and he's watching TV. I had to watch fucking Paw Patrol 3 times. Okay. Good night for real, y'all. Your wife's boyfriend, what's happening? All right. Time for me to kick back. I rolled this song, bitch. And put it over here. I rolled that a few minutes ago. Time for me to take care of that and then see what's on TV. What do y'all recommend? What's a good show on TV? On streaming services? Give me a movie. I love court dramas. I love a good court drama. I don't listen to music. If I turn on some music, it's like Stevie Nicks or something. I was going to watch something. I don't know. Nobody ever answered. Why does AMC have 10 board members now? And then I'm going to sleep. I'm going to see if anybody can answer. I don't have Netflix. Netflix is the only one I don't subscribe to. Pedophile motherfuckers over there at Netflix. Okay, I'll go check that out because I'm gonna spend another 40 minutes. Apocalypse Now, that's always a good one. You don't look like a Godsmack kind of person. What did my wife's boyfriend say? Hot tub time machine. Now, you laughing about that. That showed up for me to watch today, and I almost turned it on. Where they all get in a hot tub and it's a time machine. I like all the actors that are in it. I just can't imagine how retarded it's going to be that it's a time machine. Well, not Godsmack. I would say a Bob Seger kind of girl. Does anybody even know who Bob Seger is? Eagles. Rock music. When I was growing up, the hell did y'all? They must know I'm fixing to sign off. Want to tell them bye before we go? Come on. Want to tell them bye? Come on. Come on. They done seen you. They done seen you. Little girl. Oh, little girl. She's a handful, boy. All right. Good night, everybody. Love y'all. Be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video.